Hebrews 11, 1 and 2 sets my expectation for today. Hebrews 11, 1 and 2 says, in the past, God spoke to our ancestors through the prophets at many times and in various ways. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son. And so the intermediate communication that the world had known, God speaking through mortals, becomes now God speaking to us through his Son. God speaking to us directly. And so that creates some pretty high expectations for me as I come to this day in the trip, and as I begin to think about Capernaum stories. This is the place where God most often spoke, helping me understand who he is, how he thinks about me, how he invites me to think about others. These are stories of Capernaum, and we want to sample some of those. Before we do, let's just get a sense for the place. It's very different than other places we've been in that it's a town. Nazareth, village. Jerusalem, city. Bet-Shan, Decapolis city. This is a town. About 10 to 12 acres, 1,200, 1,500 people. It runs through this entire compound, past that wall into the next church compound, 10 to 12 acres, the town of Bethsaida. It has a more complicated economy than a village of Nazareth, but a less complicated economy and public building structure than a Jerusalem or a Decapolis city. What did people do here? Well, they took advantage of a number of things in the natural resource pool that advantaged them. There was fishing, right? The best fishing on the Sea of Galilee historically has been from the Jordan Inlet to Capernaum. So this is going to be a place with wharves that go out into the water and folks launching in the early evening and early morning hours to catch fish in these, and fishing along the shoreline during the daytime, using different techniques for different times of day. But fishing is a player here. Secondly, you've got agriculture. You saw the plain of Bethsaida, plain of Gennesaret over here. We've got really rich volcanic soils. They're going to grow lots of good grain and fruit in that soil. Thirdly, you've got this basalt material. This basalt material is among the most friction resistant of the stones in this area, and as a consequence, it was desirable to take this and use it for high friction environments. Whether it's a lintel of a door or a mill where you've got two surfaces rubbing against one another to grind wheat or to crush olives, this is going to be the most friction, not friction resistant, what's the word I'm looking for?
It wears well.
Wears well, the most durable, yeah? But hard to shape. And so you end up with folks here apparently having developed some facility in being able to shape this material. In the houses that you'll go and look at later, you'll see evidence of grinding mills, wheat grinding mills, large and small, olive crushing presses, and so on. The people here apparently developed some skill in being able to manufacture those. We've got more of that sort of tool left behind in the archaeology than would be necessary for this town. So the assumption is they're using it in that way. Fourthly, we've got the international highway running on the ridge just above us here, and that means you have people who will be involved in the support of international travel. People need food, they need supplies, they need food for their animals, pack animals, and so this is going to be that sort of place as well. So lots of ways to generate business income here. Not surprisingly, a larger community develops in this space. Now, to the Gospels. You know, sometimes people ask me the question,